Yo, what's poppin' everyone? Welcome back, Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be covering over a new deck coming out in Temporal Forces, Great Tusk Mill. This new Great Tusk seems kind of cool, but are we going to be able to mill our way to victory? Well, I'm going to go over an early deck profile from the translations that we've seen from Temporal Forces, and we're going to see if this deck is it or not. Let's check things out. So here we have it. We have Great Tusk Mill. In this video, I'm going to use some of the proxies that we found at justinbasil.com. I always check out their website for all that good stuff. And I found this list on Japanese Twitter or X from Pokégear book, I guess. So anyways, I think this might be the exact 60, so credit to anyone else who has. I don't know if there's necessarily someone tied to it, but Great Tusk is there to try to mill your opponent down with its first attack. You gotta play an ancient supporter, which is why we're playing Sada's Vitality and the new supporter that we get from Temporal Forces. I think that it's one of those things where we are really just trying to go Great Tusk, Great Tusk, Great Tusk. And I'll jump over each card in more detail because right now these cards are not available on PTCG Live. I will put a copy and pastable list. You could play these on the Limitless tabletop if you want to practice with a friend. But these cards are not released in English. They're not released on PTCG Live. And we're pretty early to the punch. We're going to start spreading some of these in there. So let's jump over the strategy one by one. If you don't own all the cards, like let's say if you're trying to pick up some Radiant Greninjas, Pidgeots, check out our sponsors in the description below. Kayfabe, PTCGL Store, Atlas. We got you with some discounts for them, great shipping, all that good stuff. Pick it up, you know you want to, and check sleeve it up with some Ultimate Guard sleeves too if you're building some proxies. I know I will. Let's jump into that strategy. So we're a mill deck, and we want to be able to use Great Tusk to use Ground Collapse. We want to discard the top card of our opponent's deck, and if you played an Ancient Supporter card from your hand during this turn, you can discard 3 more cards. We are able to slap on a double turbo energy onto Great Tusk. There's no negative damage because we're not doing damage. We are trying to deck out our opponents. Additionally, we have fighting energies, and we have Professor Sada's Vitality to accelerate energies to Great Tusk, because it is an ancient Pokemon. How are we going to get those energies in the discard pile? Well, we have Trekking Shoes, we have Radiant Greninja, and we have Earthen Vessel as well. Those are all of our opportunities to get energies into the discard pile, so we can load them up with Professor Sada's Vitality onto a Great Tusk. Radiant Greninja gives us some extra draw per turn. We don't need to have a lot of Pokemon in play. Unlike the Durant decks that we've seen in previous seasons that have been milling our opponents, we only need the one Great Tusk with the double turbo or the double fighting energies, and we are good to go. Pidgeot V might seem weird in the deck at first, but it is a means to an ends for us to use Forest Seal Stone so that we're able to use our V-Star ability to search out anything that we want from our deck, and we can quickly use Pidgeot V's ability to hide it into the deck. One of the cards that you might not be familiar with is Explorer's Guidance. You get to look at the top 6 cards of your deck and put 2 of them into your hand, discard the other cards. This is very similar to Hapu from previous seasons, and it's not the best ancient supporter I've ever seen, but we get to draw cards. Maybe we get to pitch some fighting energies for Professor Sada's. And, of course, we can always activate our milling your opponent's deck with Great Tusk because we played an Ancient Supporter. Our deck revolves around getting these supporters out, so we have some consistency cards like the Pokégear 3.0, so we can grab a supporter card. We have the Forest Seal Stone with the Pidgeot, so that we're able to search out whatever we want. Trekking Shoes might be able to draw into it. And a lot of our deck is going to be built on the consistency of we want to mill our opponent every single turn over and over again, ripping cards to shred until we can hit those victories. Counter Catcher is going to be a crucial component of this deck because since we're not drawing prize cards, we're always going to fall behind on prize cards. And while cards like Switch and Switch cards might be popular in this format, your opponent might not have it every single turn. So if we play Counter Catcher, we might be able to bring up a Pokemon that has an inopportune retreat cost, and we're able to mill their deck over and over and over with Great Tusk. Few other cards that we have in the deck, there's very few new cards, but one of them is Hand Trimmer. Each player discards cards until they have 5 cards in their hands. Your opponent discards few, Your opponent discards first, and players with 5 or fewer cards in their hand don't discard any cards. This might be another avenue for us to discard fighting energies, but it could also take some important resources out of our opponent's hand if they're trying to stock up a large hand to potentially Iono to prolong them decking out. Hand Trimmer makes it very clear that we are able to rip cards out of their hand, they can't build up a big hand forever, and we are able to continue on with our main strategy. We can always give ourselves a little bit more HP with something like the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. That gives us going from 140 HP on the Great Tusk all the way up to 200 HP. That's kind of hard to knock out a single prize card Pokemon, let alone 6 of them, because we're going to get those Great Tusks back with Super Rod as the game progresses. So we're just going to continuously feel these things out, not really using any other attack except for Ground Collapse. So not only does Ancient Booster Energy Capsule increase our HP, we also gain Ace Specs from Temporal Forces. We are able to increase our HP by 100 with Hero's Cape, and this one fits in nicely with the deck because there's a few other Ace Specs. We don't need to do extra damage. We don't need to do anything else with our future Pokemon. We don't really care about drawing for all of our ancient Pokemon in play. We don't care about bringing up our opponents. Like, think about the Ace Specs that are in the set. Hero's Cape allows us to get an extra 100 HP. 240 single prize card Pokemon sounds like absolute nightmare fuel for a lot of opponents as they struggle while they're getting decked out turn after turn. The rest of the deck is pretty much getting our supporters back with Pal Pad, being able to use Artazon or Nest Ball to search out our Pokemon, and the deck is quite simple in that nature, where once you're able to start decking out your opponent, and as long as you play that ancient supporter like Professor Sada's Vitality per turn, you're 100,000% able to just rip your opponent's deck to shreds. Will you be able to win in time? That's another question, and that's what makes things really interesting when it comes to this deck profile, because I'm not sure. The set's brand new. My plan is to print out some proxies from justinbasil.com, like our Great Tusk, and play around with it, see if it works. Is it as good as Charizard EX? We will have to find out. But I did put the copy and pastable list in the description, so if you do want to play around with it on Limitless Tabletop Simulator, or print it out, or anything else like that, we're going to cover some early deck profiles on this channel as we kind of half approach this Paldean Fates metagame, and a half approach our new Temporal Forces plus rotation metagame. So this deck is completely post-rotation legal. Temporal Forces is out, coming, I think it's like the same weekend as Vancouver, so late March. And of course, the first major tournament this is legal for is EUIC in London. So this is what we got going on for Great Tusk. Let me close things out. And that's what we got going on for this video today. I hope that you all enjoyed watching it. I think it's a really cool deck profile. I know I'm super excited to grab out my handy dandy scissors, print off some of these proxies while they're not legal, test with some of my friends in between rounds at League Cups, and really see how these decks work. I really want to prepare for EUIC because there's some space on that trophy cabinet over there, and maybe you'll just catch me playing Great Tusk on stream at London. We'll have to find out how it ends up working out. But I do want to let everyone know, again, if you do want to pick up any of these cards, once stores start doing pre-orders for Temporal Forces, check out our description for Kayfabe. We got PTCGL store, we got Atlas collectibles, a lot of options no matter where you are, a lot of great global shipping, great prices, and discounts available while supporting the squad. If you want to get more strategy from us, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/TSSwin. We have articles, deck lists. There's more than just this deck list up there. I got plenty of deck lists for Paldean Fates, Temporal Forces, post-rotation things we're losing. There's a lot of resources, and you get to hang out and chat with the squad. If you're building any decks, pick up some Ultimate Guard products. I've been loving my Sidewinders lately. These are fantastic to store your cards, and the quality is unparalleled. So check those out. I really appreciate everyone tuning in again. If you haven't already, give this video a like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff, and we will catch up soon with more great content. Thanks again. Peace out. I'm gonna go take my dog for a walk. Peace out. Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes. Hey trainers, tired of having too many cards lying around? I know that feeling, and I know what a hassle it is to try and sell those cards. But selling bulk is now easier than ever with TCG Bulk. Find tons of potential buyers in a single place. You just download the app, look for the best buyer near you, and carefully pack your bulk, ship it, and you get paid. It really is that simple. Turn the cards you don't want into the cards you absolutely need for your next deck. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.